Hi, welcome back to Knit for Brains podcast. I'm Laura Brady.
I'm Karen Miller.
This is episode 130 of our knitting, crafting, sewing, crocheting, whatever we're up to podcast. We are located 60 miles south of Chicago in Bradley, Illinois. You can find us on Facebook, Ravelry, Instagram, and Knit for Brains Designs on Etsy. Karen.
You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Loopy Stitcher, all one word, spelled L-U-P-Y. And then my designs you can find on Ravelry as Loopy Stitcher Designs.
And how's that weather doing, Karen?
Well, lately it's been pretty darn tootin' cold.
See, I thought it's been nice. And my husband's been laughing at me because I told him, I had the air on in the car the other day. He's like, well, you didn't have the air on. You have it on the automatic. I go, no. When you turn it far enough, it goes to low and air. I said, that's how I had it on because I was sweating. And then I was like, why do you have the air on? It's so cold outside. Why don't you put your window down? So I decided to put the window down.
Yeah.
I just get very, very warm in the car. So we go this afternoon. And he's driving my car. He gets in my car, and I see him taking the temperature up. Like, I had it at 64, and next thing I know, he's got it up to 70, and I'm just like... So he stops the car, and he's like, do you want to get out now? So that's really nice about his car, is we have the separate controls. We need that with every car, because he wants it hot, and I want it cold.
Oh, yeah.
I need that air... just blowing on me, and I've had a lot of congestion, and my allergies and sinuses are awful. That's part of why we didn't record last time, because they were kicking my butt.
Yeah. So winter is actually here. That's the thing. We were like playing games with it for a while.
Yeah.
But I would say winter is finally here.
I mean, not really for this area when you think about it, though, because it's 25 degrees out.
Yeah, it's nice to...
Normally, we're like below zeros with the wind chills, which we did have a couple days.
Yeah, we had a couple days where it was really cold and...
it was like negative 16 or something like that.
Yeah, winter advisories because of snow blowing and stuff like that.
Dense fog we've had a lot of.
The mornings have been really cold, but during the day, as long as the sun gets out, it's been pretty nice.
I think it was a day I went and had my nails done finally, and I'm walking back out to my car, and I'm like, oh, it's so nice out here. It must really be warming up. Maybe I should go outside for a run, and I look at my watch, and it's like 33 degrees, and I'm like, what is wrong with me?
The other day, I was at a restaurant sitting there, and a guy comes in. So this is a typical Illinois person, okay? Winter hat, winter coat, like he was like
and shorts.
Bundled. Exactly.
I'm surprised
it's better than that because it was like the basketball shorts. He did have socks on and he had Crocs on. Not even full Crocs. They were like the ones that you just put your feet in.
I'm surprised he had the winter coat on because normally,
in fact, I don't even think it was a full on winter coat. You could just see it was like one of those ear flap hats. And it looked like he had a hoodie on.
Although I can't say anything because my husband's always like, you don't wear a winter. We've had this discussion before about how I don't wear a winter coat, but yet I get so warm.
Yeah. And it was cold that day.
That's the reason why I can't wear it.
We just kind of looked at the person I was with, we kind of looked at each other and shook our heads and we're like, Illinois.
Now, see, I'm not that bad. Granted, like the pants I have on today are super, super thin. They're more summer joggers than they are winter, which I'm fine with. He was running around the house this morning going, it's so cold in here and my robe's in the dryer. I'm like, throw a hoodie on. It's fine. Sorry, there's going to be some of that going on. All right. So let's talk about the shop. Let me show you, and I sold a ton already, but I'm going to show you, my first batch I'm going to show you is going to be what I listed today. We have a few batches, so I'll try to go very quickly.
She's got a leaning tower over here.
All right.
That you can't see.
I have a medium Gilmore Girls bag left, and it says coffee. I can't read what that says underneath the coffee. How blind is the bat? Use those new glasses, Karen. You don't got a clue.
Coffee, a shot of cynicism. Coffee house.
Oh, okay. So at any rate. And inside is the same as the upper here. This is the medium drawstring. I've got a Luke's sack bag. The yellow at the top is what's on the inside. And I'm really sad because I didn't get any of these. I've got I Love You 8,000 Yellow Daisies. And then I have the coffee one in the sack bag. I've got Life's Short, Talk Fast. And it says, I'm the Rory to your Lorelei. So obviously these are all Gilmore Girls I'm showing. Sorry, I probably should have said that.
I wouldn't have known because I've never watched the show.
Right. That's all I have for the actual bags in the Gilmores. I do have, I sold it, like I said, I updated the shop and I sold a ton of them already today. I was like, where is the metal piece? I zipped it into the bag. Doy. All right, so I have some Notion pouches. Doy. I got the Talk Fast one. I got one of those. Yellow Daisies. I have one. I think I called this one Small Town.
Mm-hmm.
I got one of those. I've got two of the coffee ones left. And then I did a sock set. Oh. Which is called Be Mine.
Those are pretty.
Aren't those gorgeous?
She sent me pictures of these drying, and I was like, ooh.
This is the purple one with the pink is the 50-gram skein, and then you get two 20-gram skeins in each of the pink colors. So these are currently in the shop. I have 4 of these right now, and they are gorgeous. So, yeah. I was really happy with how those came out. So that was this update. Now, I had done another update that you guys haven't seen, so I'll fly through those really quick. Oh, gosh. All right, in the sock size, we have Knit Together is what I call this because there's a thing that says Knit Together. The inside is the yellow that's at the top. I think this is adorable. Mm-hmm. There's the blue knitting balls. I have one of the Valentine gnomes left, which I am very surprised by. The pink fabric is on the inside and it is sparkled. And so are the drawstrings, because why not? Mm-hmm. Medium size. I have this really cute, everything is sparkled. The red is sparkled. The white interior is sparkled.
Yeah, and it looks like that red is even showing up on the camera too.
Yeah, this is very sparkly, very pretty. I have 2 of those. I have also in the medium my leprechaun guy. Then in medium, I did 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got 2 of these. Valentine gnomes, I have 2 of those left. And then I have 4 of those that are a kit with this yarn.
That's pretty.
Yeah. So I have 4 of those with the yarn. Also in medium. I thought I was done with medium, but I am not. I've got 2 of the Knit Together. I have 3 of the yarn balls. Oh, there's a little scraggler. Mm-hmm. I've got 1 of the Valentine Gnome Notion pouches. Look at this big stack. I have 2 of the Knit Together sweater bags, which are zippered. So that's from an in-between update since we podcasted. Then,
There's more?
just because I like to keep you guys informed, everything else in my shop I have marked 30% off. So I'm just going to really, really quickly show you what that will... What's 30% off? We'll start with Notions pouches, and I'll just run through them. It's a ornament one. I've got 2 of the peacock ones. I've got 2 of the Back to the Future. I've got 1 of the winter gnomes. That's all those are all 30% off. Sock bags that are 30% off. I love this one. Inside good, outside bad. Friends. No soup for you, Seinfeld. Hi, I'm Date Mike. The Office. I had to think for a second. Oh, I actually have 2 of the Seinfeld ones. I just found another one in the stack. 1 of these. I have 1 of the Runts. That's for sock size. For medium, and I'm just trying to go through these really fast here. In the we call this recliner. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. I've got 2 of the Back to the Future. 2 of the No Soup. And all of these I'm showing, guys, are on sale. Oh, just found more soup. How did those get out of order? So I got 4 of those. 3 of the Date Mike. Stay. And 1 Bright Skull. Sweater bags. 2 Date Mike. 1 Seinfeld. 1 of those Office. All 30% off. Is that going to stay? Maybe.
I'm impressed.
2 of the blue vinyl bucket bags. These were the really big ones. On sale. Also on sale, and I'm not taking them all out to show, but are the key fob zipper pulls. There's sparkles, there's plaids, there's Care Bears. Also included in the sale is the drill adapter for the Stanwood ball winder. You can also get for 30% off. All of that is available on Etsy, Knit for Brains Designs. Okay. That's going to fall during the podcast.
Don't breathe.
Next up, so I can get rid of one of these notebooks out of my lap. Every year I keep track of the knitting I've accomplished. So I'm going to give you guys a rundown of what I did last year.
Oh.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I made 14 pairs of mitts, 7 cowls, 44 scrubbies, 46 pairs of socks, 5 hats, 4 kids' sweaters, 3 adult sweaters, 8 shawls, 2 bralettes, 1 ornament. I purchased 21 skeins of yarn. I used 64 full skeins of yarn. I used 14 half skeins of yarn.
Wow.
I used 5 kits and 3 advents.
That's a lot.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
I'm impressed.
I just think it's kind of a fun thing to tally at the end. I definitely did more than I did the previous year. And I just have it in like a notebook lined. And for instance, so I started I just mark each page. January, I list my projects, and then I do full skeins, half skeins, mini sets or advents, depending on what I'm doing, and then how many purchased for that month. And I do a page for every month, and then at the end of the year, I just combine it all to get my totals. Just kind of something. No. So there's that. All right. So we did shop. Let's just get some of this stuff out of the way here. Let's do coupon codes and say we're done with that. So I've got Amanda Ray Cole on Ravelry. If you use code KFB19, you'll receive 20% off in her shop. This one is no longer good. So we only have Amanda's right now. So if there's any makers out there, whether you're bag makers, yarn dyers, designers, whatever you might.
Knitting accessories.
Yeah, knitting accessories. Yeah, anything. Yeah. Lotions, hand balms, you name it. If you'd like to share a coupon code with our subscribers, just get hold of us. The best way is usually on Instagram through the Knit for Brains account, because I'm always on there. Then, yeah, go ahead and shoot us a message, and we'd love to share a discount with our viewers. Speaking of that, I told Karen the other day, January 14th, so 2 days ago, because this is Sunday the 16th, was our 5-year podiversary. Yeah, 5 years.
5 years.
Hard to, yeah. That's a long time.
I was a viewer to begin.
Yes. And then
this month is really mine too, because this is when I stepped in to help out when Alisha was having Peanut.
Yes. And then she had the second one, and I was just like, yeah, no, this isn't happening.
Life gets in the way.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into some knitting. We will be announcing prizes for the knit along this time. I do apologize that it got put off 2 weeks, but like I said, I was sick. The main thing was I didn't want to be near Karen for the potential of her, getting anything, something like that, or bringing it home. So we will do that in a little bit. So, all right, FOs, Karen.
Well, if we must.
I mean,
we talked about
I think they're here for the knitting, Karen.
Fun.
I mean, you're consistent.
Yeah, I set the bar at a certain level, and that's what I stick to.
Is it the one you finished here last Sunday?
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
I need a dishcloth. Woohoo!
Which was funny because she didn't think she was going to even be able to do that because she didn't have proper needles, and I was like, not worry.
I'm still using a needle.
Oh, no, you know what? I did some dishcloths, and I just pulled out some other needles. I have extras in that size, so.
So this was part of our gift. The dishy that we had been given to us. I don't know if these have colors. Goldfish, is that what it says? Yeah, goldfish is colorway.
You're better than me. I didn't keep my wrapper.
It is worsted weight, and it's Knit Picks dishy, the multi. So, woohoo!
Going done.
I got one done.
Woo, dude. That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and show my 2 that I did because I didn't bring my band in here because I still have more of it. So, sorry. It is dishy multi, but I did 2 of those.
Yeah, and I think we use the same pattern Grandma's.
Yes.
Yeah,
and we use a size 8 needle.
Size 8.
I'd given her the one that I usually use, which is fine.
Yeah.
I had another size 8 from a square set that Laura had sent me, so I was able to use my square interchangeables, so that was perfect. So don't you use those? Just use those as long as you need them. Anytime she needs something, she knows. I usually have it. All right, I will keep going because I have quite a few FOs, guys. This was in my new bag that Amy, Happy Little Yarns, made me for Christmas, and I absolutely love it. Oh, okay, so this, I did one previously, so you have seen it before. Lorelei's Coffee Cowl, and I had said I'd like to see how it, because I did it with like variegated and speckles and what was in the kit that I got. And I kind of wanted to see it with not so many speckles.
Mm-hmm.
So I took some of the minis that I dyed.
Ooh, I like that better.
Guys.
That turned out really pretty.
It's really pretty.
Mm-hmm. It really shows off the stitch definition, too.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think it came out really good.
Yeah.
It's a nice little pattern, too. So, yeah, that's that pile. I'm not going to worry about emptying bags. I will do that tomorrow. Okay. Up next. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's coming to me what things are. All right. So, I've shown this many times, and this is not the first time I've knit it. So, I enjoy the pattern because typically, unless it's something I really enjoy, I don't tend to reknit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hug Shot by Casapinka. And the yarn I'm using is Night Owl Fibers Hot Lips. And Destination Yarn, isn't it? Yeah, Destination Yarns, Pink Champagne and Cake. Dawn, these were the ones you wanted, right? Let me know for sure. Sorry, guys. She had contacted me about, and I'm pretty sure these were the ones she was talking. Well, when she said my shawl, I'm like, am I knitting on a shawl? I couldn't freaking remember. Oh, I am going to take the Progress Keeper off. That way I put that back into the living room. And I don't forget, wow, my table needs dusted. All right, so I think it came out beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that nice?
Nice and squishy, too.
Mm-hmm. And I love the colors. The colors are really pretty. I still have that weird thing in there. I'm like, whatever. I'm not pulling it apart. I don't care. Oh, that's what happens sometimes. And I did do some more ripping this time around as well.
This is mine now, right?
Yeah, you can have it. Yeah.
It's like, these are my colors.
Enjoy. See, this is how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do have a box of stuff I've knitted that hasn't been claimed, but there's a plan for some of that, which we'll discuss with you guys later. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. I've been so excited to, knit with yarns I've dyed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's neat.
It's just kind of fun to see, And I actually, the other one that I kept for myself, I actually added in my stash. I can see the little blue baby in that second. Do you see all the holes in my stash?
Mm-hmm.
I told you I've been using the heck out of my stash. Okay, so I'm getting distracted, guys. Sorry. Fingerless mitts. You guys all know I really enjoy making fingerless mitts. And then Laura had bought me, the 2 sets of signature DPNs, so that makes it even more enjoyable. And I'm like, I want to use those, So I was doing the Meet Cute Mitts by Helen Stewart, which was part of some knit-along thing. I think a Christmas thing or something.
Your knit vent thing?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
That's cute.
So, I was using yarn that I had dyed.
Ooh.
What was this one? And with that one skein, I made 2 pairs of them.
Cool.
So, let me throw a pair on here to show you guys. Of course, my watch is kind of in the way, as usual. Look how pretty these are.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, look at those.
Yeah.
They came out so nice. I
love fingerless mitts because, while I'm working, too, these are a little long for me.
Well, and
Look at that.
Well, and I did them according to the pattern.
That is hilarious.
I did them according to the pattern, too. That's how they, yeah.
But it's still nice. I mean, these will be nice and warm to wear for like steering wheel too.
So I knit the one pair, and then I looked at the yarn, and I'm like, oh, I have enough to do a second pair. Let's just keep going. So I did the second pair. So, because I like to keep fingerless mitts on standby because they make awesome gifts, and then I know one of these are going to be going, so I have a home for them.
Yep.
All right, so that's that. Put that away. I still got, I think, like 4 more FOs. I was busy, guys. I don't even remember what I finished, to be honest with you. Oh, okay. So while I was on the mitt train, this was already caked up into a couple balls. I don't remember the name of it. I know it's from Crystal Skies Hand Dyes. The sparkle.
That's the color that you did the sweater in, didn't you?
Yeah, the sweater that I ripped out. Yep, that'd be the color.
Yeah.
That's why it's all in balls.
That you and Lisa, Lisa finished.
Yeah. And then I ripped it out. Because that's what I do, guys. All right, so I did the Point Edwards mitts because that is one of my favorite patterns. It is DK weight, but I just use fingering and hold it double because I have a lot of fingering and not a whole lot of DK. And these are also going for...
Okay.
I told you, I've been working.
Yeah.
Well, in this area, you need mitts. That's for sure. All right, not done yet.
And it's nice because they can last several seasons, like not just one, you know.
All right, up next.
Spring, fall, winter.
Oh. That's a progress keeper in there.
That little bag.
Isn't that the cutest? Oops. I thought I felt... Oh, yeah, there it is. I was like, I thought I felt yarn fall down. Okay.
And it was it.
So this yarn is from Bad Wolf Girl Studios. Stranger Things. And I still have some left. If you want it. I can't... Nobody claimed that. I get yelled at sometimes because there was something I gave you that somebody scolded me about. It was like, you need to start asking. Karen's getting all the good yarn. I'm like, well, she's sitting next to me. I'm like, if you tell me ahead of time, you know.
Before she finishes the project, she'll offer it up.
Yeah, I usually will. I mean, unless the mitts that I did the 2 of, I mean, I used that full skein. Right. So, but yeah, anytime I do that. Well, and that was actually gifted to me, this yarn from Dawn. It was leftovers of hers, and then I still had leftovers. So that's how that knits up, in case you want to see it, Karen. And I do have the second one. Yeah, quite the pile of FOs down here. All right. Still got 2 more. These are a surprise to me, too.
Can't remember what you... Well, it's been such a long time since we did podcasts, so you have stuff that you probably finished not too long after.
No, because when I was sick, honestly, I had a good probably 3 or 4 days that I did not knit.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much just sleeping going on around here, which was awesome because I normally don't sleep. And I was sleeping during the day and I was sleeping at night. Wow. And I knew I was getting better when I went back to not sleeping. I'm like, man, that was so nice. So this was a half skein that Laura sent me from Night Owl Fibers. It's called Life and Death Brigade. That went nowhere. And guys, I don't know if you noticed, but I had emptied out some of my yarn out of the vase. Not that it looks like now.
No.
I've been adding to it now. Okay, let me get these on here. Ta-da! Those are cute. I like this yarn a lot. There's 2 of them. Okay, so there's that. I don't know if I need the sock blocker again or not. I can't remember.
It's on standby just in case.
Yep, I need it. Okay. So this is another half skein that somebody had, Dawn had gifted me. Lolo did it, Sparkle Sack. Okay, this is the one I don't know. It's a Harry Potter in it.
Beauxbatons.
My hair there. Do you want this too? Because it'd be good for heels and toes if nothing else. See, Dawn, that the love keeps going. I use it. I pass it on to Karen.
Share the love.
It doesn't take much for my socks, so. I knit up really pretty. But yeah, this would even be good heels. And there's the second one. That's my all that photos. That was a whole lot, guys.
Yeah.
That was a lot of knitting. So, yay. Alrighty. Whoops.
Yeah, I got those.
Okay. I got 5.
I might have 4 or 5 too.
All right. Let's go back and forth. You start.
Well, I'm knitting.
Why don't you show what you're knitting?
They're sitting there talking before we started.
Okay, now let me ask you something. So these are the needles that I am letting Karen use. They're zings. What's your opinion on the zings?
I use the zings.
Okay, you use.
Yep.
There's mixed reviews on people don't like them or they like them, and I don't mind them at all, but I don't like a really sharp tip neither.
Well, these still are.
They're decent.
There's a point to them.
Not high sharp though.
No. Oh no, I don't. And actually, I like. Is this actually their cord, or is this a different cord? This looks like a different cord.
That is a Knitter's Pride cord. Yeah, because with the zings, the Nova Plantinas, the knit. I think it's Knit Picks squares. You can use all the same cords. So basically all my interchangeables can use the same cords, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
So I have a ton, and I do mean a ton, of different cords.
I find though with my fixed, which will show up here lately, is that the join on the fixed, there's a bit of a gap, and it could be from wear and tear from me using them so much. But my fixed 16-inch zings, although I love the tip, the join itself is kind of frustrating sometimes.
I have a lot of fixed zings, and I have one pair that are like that, and I think it's how we store them in our knitting bags. I don't really think it's so much how we're knitting per se. I think it's how we crumple them up and we just throw them in a bag and we're not paying attention.
Yeah.
But just my opinion.
So while we've been talking and doing the podcast, I started another dishy. That's my first whip.
Woohoo! All right. Let me see what I got.
See how far I get by the time we get done with this.
Okay, so I showed this yarn before because I had started a sock. One of Tracy Miller's from the Grocery Girl socks. Well, I ripped it out because I made a boo-boo. Well, not so much I made a boo-boo. I didn't read it correctly. And I had set it down because I was working on something else, and I went and picked it back up. And I knew where I was at because I had it marked. And I was just refreshing myself, so I read it, and then I went, uh-oh.
Whoops.
So I was going to have to take everything out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do something else because I had seen another sock. And I'm like, I think I want to try that one instead. So I switched. Because that's the way I do things. So this is from Showreel Studios. Showreel Studios, they still die. I haven't seen anything from them.
She's got her own website still, doesn't she?
Okay. So Showreel Studios. And does this have a name? Oh, okay. The mini was Sunshine, which now I'm not using the mini. And the main color is Prairie Sky. It was a sock set. So what I'm doing now, because I guess I'm kind of all about branching out nowadays with socks or something. I don't know. As I saw these on Facebook. No, Instagram. Somebody had knit a pair and had them on Instagram and thankfully put the name of what it was because I'm like, oh, what are those? Because I would probably actually wear those. Because I do knit a lot of socks and I don't wear them much. So it's called Journey by Margaret. And it's basically like a little no-show sock. And that's more so what I wear. So, look at that. The construction is very different on them.
Yeah.
Very different on them. Like, you started with, I can't give, like, you know, but whatever. But, like, you cast it on and you did a heel right away.
Okay.
And then shaped the heel. And so, this is the start of it. This is, here, is that easier for you to see?
Okay.
So it's a little bit different construction than I've ever done. But I'm enjoying it. And it's smaller needles than I typically use. We'll see. I think they're coming out nice. And I think that I will actually wear them more than I would other socks.
Yeah, that's kind of different.
Yeah, isn't it?
The heel reminds me of the
So basically,
Rose City Rollers.
I started here and did this, and then did shaping, and then joint. And then joint. Yeah. It was interesting. I was like, no, well, I'll just follow it step by step and see what happens. And it's going well, so.
She might not dye anymore.
Did you look on Instagram? That's where I usually
look is that where you went?
Look up people, because then they'll have a link. Show Real Studios. Linktree. Shop Our Yarns. There was a problem loading this website.
That's what I had a problem loading it.
Time is running out at indirect pricing for 2020 Advent. Yeah, no. Looks like she's not dying anymore.
Bummer.
Yeah.
That happens.
Well, and I think I had remembered that.
Yeah.
So, all right. What else are you whipping on?
Okay. Let's go with the frustrating hat.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. It's my pattern. I'm trying to rewrite it. So I'm just on the ribbon.
Your designer ought to be better about it.
Well,
well,
I'll be honest. I struggle with casting on and it not being too tight. Once I get past the cast on, I'm good. So I have a real hard time getting the cast on itself to not be too tight. So
just use bigger needles for the cast on.
I've tried bigger needles. I do the German cast on. This time I did like a cable cast on, which looks kind of wonky.
Oh, yeah.
It looks wonky. The yarn I'm using is Knit Picks, the Swish, the worsted. This is in black. And then I plan on using this garnet red. Is that what it was? Hollyberry.
We just make up the names around here.
Anyways, kind of like a Blackhawks color themed hat for my husband. The pattern itself is meant for men. It's really unisex, but I had knit it twice last year, the year before last, for my husband and son both.
And now
not a problem. Wrote up the pattern and everything. Apparently, I can only do it twice. I'm like,
so much for third
it's about
time's
time I get that written up because I already have everything written. I was just retesting it, and I'm just struggling. All gets out. So we'll see how long that lasts. It'll probably be ripped out again before move on.
Okay, this is a new cast on, but an old pattern, because Point Edwards. This yarn is a Knit Picks, and it was Bear Yarn. Somebody died for me. Holding it double. I'm using my signature needles that say Knit for Brains on them. And so far, because I wanted to work on something else, I just have the cuff done. But that's fine. These will go really fast. Knits go pretty fast for me, so not a big deal. So there's that. Sorry I didn't take up much time on that one.
That's okay.
I mean, it's a pair of mitts.
Yeah. Well.
And they've seen the pattern a gazillion times.
Okay, this is Freckle Whimsy's 2021 Christmas Advent. And the last time I was just doing the one socks. I was, experimenting to see if it'd go any faster. No, obviously I only have one sock. And not even to the heel. Looking pretty skinny. But you can see where I was last time. I think I'm at the point where I'm starting the heel. And the contrast for the toe is just a stash that I had on hand, and it's this color. Which is great. It's got some blues in it, too, or purples. I think it might have been a Halloween one that was...
It looked like Cherry Pie Cottage. I don't know why.
Cherry Pie or Night Owl, one or the other. I don't know. But anyways, that's it.
All right. I know this one sucks. You do a sock, I'll do a sock. All right, so this is yarn I got sent, half a skein of from Laura. I'm attached. It is Night Owl Fibers. Please, Luke. Please, please, please. So, Gilmore Girls again. Anytime she gets Gilmore Girls, she always splits it with me, which is greatly appreciated. Ta-da! So,
Cool.
Yeah. I haven't made it too far because I hadn't been going out a lot because,
Yeah.
I was sick and I was staying home, and I typically save socks for when we are traveling or eating out.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, very occasionally, I'll work on them at home, and that's only like when I've been working on something that has my thumbs really flared up, because knitting on socks does not hurt my fingers, my thumbs, anything. I think due to like the smaller needle, plus the fact that with magic looping, you're not just knitting.
You're not like
then,
this.
Yeah.
Kind of like, your hands aren't.
Yeah. So that really makes a big difference for me. So,
Yep.
Alrighty.
Which cracks me up because the needle is so small. Because I get several times when I'm out, I get several people that are like, how can you knit on such small needles?
Well, and your needles are smaller than mine.
Yeah.
Except for that new sock. I mean, that new sock I'm using, what was it, a 1.5? Oh, while you're looking something up, let me talk about something else, which I should have talked about in FOs. So another thing that I did since the last podcast, look what I did. Do you know what those are?
You finally put the heels on.
I put the heels in Phil's socks. So I brought those over the other day for Christmas. So that was actually another FO.
Yeah. Has he worn them? Do you know?
He tried them on, and then Alisha told him when we were there yesterday that she would weave the ends in last night. So I texted her today because I figured, and I asked her, I said, hey, did you weave the ends in? And I figured she'd be like, no. She did. And she said she picked up another pair. Hold on, let me pull it up. She said she wove in the ends, then she picked up some socks that she had been knitting like a ways ago that were like a quarter done, and she worked on those. So, yeah. She was a knitting. All right.
Okay.
Did I give you enough time?
Yep, it gave me plenty of time. Okay. So for Christmas, I decided to do something for my son. It's not done yet, so it's in my whips. Okay. But he has seen it. I showed it to him, and he said, "Oh, cool." So I talked to him about it. I already warned him, "You can't wash this. You have to bring it over to Mom's. Mom will wash it. You are not washing this." Which he brings his laundry every so often to our house anyways, because he lives in an apartment, and sometimes he has problems with the dryers there, so he ends up bringing, he only lives about an hour 20 away. So he brings his laundry home often anyways, but I am knitting by Maxim Sear, the Snuggle Israel. And I'm really quite far. I'm in the home stretch, but the home stretch might take a while. So, as a reminder, the yarns that I'm using for the outside is Knit Picks Capra. It's a DK weight. The gray is called Eclipse Heather. There's the other one. And the maroon color is called Embers Heather. So this was my outside. So that's how much I have. Quite a bit left. I did not knit it completely to pattern lengthwise. Because I knew my son, and I knew it would just be too much material for him. And the makeup of that is, where the heck is the other? It is 85% merino wool and 15% cashmere. So you can imagine it's nice soft. It's nice and soft, and it's really great to work with. The inside, I had one color of mohair that I had ordered, and I decided I didn't want to go with that, so I got some Barocco Ariel, and it's also in a maroon colorway, and it's 65 mohair, 35% silk. So you hold this double on the inside of it. So, since we last podcast, I was down here.
There. Yep. So she got a bunch done.
So I got all the way, and I'm basically doing the inside. So I have to knit the inside as long as the outside. And even holding it double,
it's pretty thin.
It's going to take a while.
Hey, good TV knitting.
He'll have it for next Christmas, I guess, at this point.
And by then he'll have forgotten about it, so it'll be a nice surprise.
Yeah, it'll be a nice surprise. So, yeah, I really like the knit. Probably would have been further along. I think it was last time I talked about how I screwed up. Did I tell you that, or was it on the podcast? I can't remember. I had screwed up, I think. I think it was after the podcast.
It might have been.
And it was one of those, am I going to live with it? Am I going to live with it? And I'm like, no, that's pretty dang tootin' obvious. Dang tootin' obvious.
Here we go again, tootin'. I don't know why she's always tootin', folks.
I don't know why I use it. I didn't realize until you pointed out how much I use it.
Mm-hmm. I'm here for you, Kara.
Oh, of course. Point out my flaws. I'm good for that. All in good fun. And since it was a gift, I was like, okay, I'll rip it back. So I probably would have been even further along if I didn't have to redo 4 inches of it.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? But yeah, so even held double. And I know it will fill in, but it's going to take a long time to get to how long it needs to be. So I like the construction though. So I just have to do the inside, connect the bottom, and then do the drawstring, and that will be done. I say, that's all I have to do.
That's all left.
Yeah.
No biggie.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so my last two ones are new cast-ons. I picked out some yarn out of my stash and was going to knit a flax light. And then I realized, well, that's not fingering weight. It's DK weight. So I pulled up, I don't even know that this pattern has a name. I don't. It's just a raglan, plain raglan sweater from Madeline Tosh's site. It's a free pattern. The yarn I'm using is Destination Yarns. It's called Nantucket. And I have 2 skeins of it. Laura had sent it to me because she thought it would make a good sweater for little man.
Guys.
He's going to look so adorable
He
in
is
this.
going to look so good in that. Great pick, Laura.
So,
with his little eyes, oh my God.
I'm going to make him a little... there's an option of either short sleeves or long sleeves. I am going to go ahead and do long sleeves. So yeah, this knitting in the round... I did have my thumbs flared up the other day because I was knitting like a mad woman on this because I started a new TV show. And it's one of those ones where I'm like this. And just knitting. And then there's action and I'm knitting. And next thing I know, I'm like, oh, my thumbs. So I had to put it away.
Yeah.
I had to put it in timeout because I was like killing my thumbs on it. Now I will get back to knitting on it. But this was like... a couple hours I sat there and did, so it'll go fast.
Cool.
Alrighty. You're up again.
Right. My next one, you guys all see me struggle every time I go to try to show this, is a night shift shawl. So I made some progress on that. Since the last time. I'm getting there. But I do plan on using as much of the yarn as I can, so it is going to be bigger than...
Can you show those folks that stitch marker? Because it was dangling and I couldn't even tell what it was.
It's my Sally from...
And you want to tell them where you got it from?
Bix Knits.
She's on Etsy.
Yep. So let me move that up.
You going to talk about the yarn?
Yes, I will.
Oh, okay. I was just asking.
One thing at a time, girl.
Like I'm trying to rush her.
It's not like we're on like a time crunch thing or we have to be somewhere.
No.
Just to our recliners.
I gotta get to the recliners. Brett's got to make you popcorn.
Yeah. So, I've seen it before. You guys have seen this before because it takes me a little while. This is a Noro Akari. Color number 16, and it's a cotton silk wool blend, and both of them are 16, and I'm alternating, and it variegates, and it gets thicker and thinner as you go through, so it's really kind of like a hand spun situation because the yarn gets thick and thin, so I like it.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those knits that, you know, like you said, mindless knitting. There's not, when I sit down to do it, I can sit down and do it for several hours.
All right, I have one left, which is also new cast on, and it's actually not very far because I just casted it on when we were at dinner. So, I am knitting some mitts. I know you guys are shocked. The pattern is called Friends. It's a simple fingerless mitts by Danny Sunshine. And I'm going to be knitting, it comes in small child, older child, adult small, adult medium, and adult large. I'm doing the adult large in hopes, because they show them on a man, that I will knit these for Phil and put them away for next Christmas. Because I gave him his 2 hats I made him this Christmas, which he's always a good one to knit for. He's knit worthy. The yarn, don't tell me I lost the tag. It's okay, I know what it is. She doesn't die anymore. It's Honeybee Knits. It was one of her book club ones. It's Moby Dick. And I split it in half because the pattern is for decay, so I'm just holding it double. Yeah. So this is in between, eating. That's all I got done. Like, seriously. I started the ribbing. That's it. Yep. That's going to be pretty, though. So, yeah. I mean, I didn't even have anything done. So I literally threw everything in the bag, including my highlighter, my highlighter tape. And when I got there, I sat down and I highlighted everything for the adult large size and got everything organized and got out stitch markers. So
I could just see you doing that at the restaurant.
Yeah. Well, and then she brings the appetizer and I'm still, dealing with the pattern stuff. I'm like, oh man. But tonight, because we really weren't in a rush and he was having a couple drinks and wanted to, just sit and enjoy whatever, we didn't order our main meal until we were done with the appetizer. Mm-hmm. So I had a little bit of time in between there to actually cast it on.
Yeah.
So I didn't figure I was going to make it very far on it, bringing it since, I had to deal with the whole pattern situation and actually cast it on and all that. But it got started, so there we have it. And that's all I have for whips.
So I have one more. Made a little progress on some socks, but not worth showing. This is where I spent a lot of my time. And I'm almost done with the main picture. And this is my cross stitch. It's just something I got from Hobby Lobby. Some birds with a bird with some cups, and they say love, dream, and hope on them. So yeah, I got all. The last time you guys seen it, I had the top three the middle three done. And then I filled in all of the flower work and the top, did the birds up here. There's some more branches up top here above the bird. And really, I just have a section down here to fill in of actual stitch work. And then it's all the back stitching, and the background has this filigree kind of work that goes on with it.
Oh, that'll take a while.
It's only one cross, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. That's the first. I was like, oh, okay. And a lot of what's down here, so it's just once. So once you go, you're done.
Yeah.
So it won't be too bad. I hope. I hope.
Oh,
but yeah, I made a lot of progress on that. I was in the mood to do my cross stitch lately. And usually wintertime is the time that I tend to pick up that hobby. So it doesn't surprise me.
I did quite a bit of work on my diamond painting, but I forgot to bring it in. So
you seen it? It's really pretty. I saw it on the kitchen
well, that's
table.
the last one for the 4 rose pictures, and then we'll be able to get them framed and hung. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. So that's all our whips. Let's. I guess we gotta announce some.
Let's do winners. Yeah, let's do the winners
from the knit along. I was just trying to stall because I only had a couple stitches to go. I hate putting it back in the bag mid row. Okay, so let's do chatter thread first.
Okay.
Those are going to be patterns on Ravelry. They can choose. I'll go ahead and announce these, and I'll let you announce the.
Okay.
So pattern of your choice off Ravelry. It is just one pattern. Please don't request a whole ebook or anything like that. Let's keep it at least $10 or under. Chatter winners: Jay Bent, who is Jessica. Win to Craft, who is Wendy. Ostruska, who is Linda. If you guys can just contact me on Ravelry and let me know what pattern it is you want. My Ravelry is Lore 903, so it's LOR 903. Okay, so that takes care of Shatter Thread. FO Thread, there was 515 projects. We had a lot of new people, and a couple people did take advantage of me leaving the thread open. I didn't close it until this morning because I figured, hey,
Yeah.
you know,
We hadn't, yeah.
you know,
Yep.
you might be like Karen, who's still working on the gift. I mean, I don't know.
Qualify next year.
Okay. We can't win them from our own cow anyways.
No.
Why doesn't anybody
Well,
send
yeah.
us prizes for participating? All right, so I'm just going to hand these to you one by one. Yeah, I got their name.
So this is Mr. I don't know, Lordy. That's why you gave these.
Oh, the names or something.
Mr. Rex
Mr. RX Clyden.
Chris H. RX Clyden.
So you'll get that
Yep.
prize package.
These over here this way. Angelic Curl. Angela. You get this one. A. Moshel. Ashley. Carnacy. Leslie.
Now, this next prize package, I do want to mention again, thank you to Happy Mermaid Yarn Co., who sent this beautiful bag and yarn set. And there's a package that has like their little things in it. I also had included, I can't get to it in this package. There was another, can you give me another package? It doesn't matter. There we are. Also, Hope from Paint It Fox Gifts had sent Progress Keepers, which were included in everybody's package. So
Yeah.
thank you
both.
very much for donating the prizes. And as always, if there's any makers out there, whether, you know, you're a yarn dyer, bag maker, pattern designer, hand lotion, whatever, if you want to send donations for prizes for knit alongs, just get a hold of us on Instagram. Sorry for the interruption.
That's okay. And this is Sunny Knits Crafts, and Allison won this one. Mermaid.
Okay. So for the physical prizes, you guys do need to reach out to me and let me know your full name and mailing address. I will. You guys can reach out for that, for physical prizes, either on Ravelry or Instagram. I don't have a preference as far as that goes. I will definitely be checking Ravelry better than what I normally do. I'll try to go with it. The goal, though, with the physical prizes is at least have a couple of you, once a couple of you have contacted me, I will pack and go to the post office. Then I'm not going to keep running back and forth one by one. So, but usually you guys get a hold of us pretty quickly, so that's not a big deal. So we'd like to thank everybody that participated. It was definitely a big one. We will do it again next year. I haven't really given any thought yet as far as our next Cal. If there's something you guys would like to see us do a knit along for, leave a comment on YouTube and we will take it into consideration.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's the knit along. Do you have acquisition?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I
Why don't
won.
you take it over?
It was a gift, and I appreciate it immensely. My friend, while she was on her trip to Colorado, thought of me and got me this yarn. Delicious hand-dyed yarns. Look at that sparkle. The colorway is called Rosewood, and it's the weight is a Hannah Sparkle DK. And it does look like she has a website, breadaliciousYarns.com. So just like it says there. Yeah. So I was like, she pulled it out. And I was like, oh, that's so me. Mm-hmm. That color is so me.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you're like me where you don't have a lot of like the tonals and solids and stuff.
Oh,
so like when you want to do a pattern like that knit that has that that work on it, you need something like that.
Yep. To do like cable work and stuff, you need something that's tonal.
Okay, guys, speaking of which, okay, I think I'm going to have to dye myself some yarn because I really want to knit these joggers. Okay, look at this. They are so something I would wear.
Yeah.
This is so me, guys. There's that one. And there's that one. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to dye myself some yarn to knit these. Because it's depending on what you do, it's between 2 and 3 skeins of fingering weight.
Uh-huh.
And I would want like a solid, I'm thinking like the silver, the gray that I've dyed. I think I would do a couple skeins of that.
Yeah.
But I'm almost thinking like doing it with the cashmere yarn.
So you can do cashmere.
Yeah. I have a MCN base that I just got in.
Oh.
That'll be coming to the shop at some point. Yeah, I just ordered an MCN, so.
Look at you, Miss. Oh, no, I do bags.
I also believe I'm going to be having some worsted as well. So, there's that. I that is my main thing.
Yeah.
Bags.
Oh, yeah.
So, for sure.
You like to do that for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for, when I want something like joggers. Well, I've seen them before, and I went, oh, my gosh, I love those.
I know.
Because that's like all I wear is joggers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw them again today. I'm like, I'm going to have to knit a pair. Really need to knit a pair. And I just want to point out, I'm wearing my shirt from Jenny of Cherry Pie Cottage that I absolutely love. And Jenny, I still need the bag with this on it. Mm-hmm. In this blue. Okay. With glitter. All right. Let me show gifts first. And then I will show purchases.
Okay.
We'll start with my sisters. It was my Christmas gift. She got me some self-striping. I like a thing that's snagging. Some self-striping. This one's called Crocus. Crocus?
Mm-hmm, Crocus.
This is from SSK Yarners. It is dyed in North Carolina, where my sister lives. So there's that one. The other one's by the same place, and this one's called Spring Butterfly. So pretty. Mm-hmm. And now that I've shown them, I will be able to get them into my rotation. And then... Okay. She sent me a bag. It is handcrafted by Stella and Flo's Finest on Etsy. Mm-hmm. And it has the tape measure closure. It does have like the little handle here. It has a little box bottom. And it has like a little thing where you can put your project notes. So then you wouldn't be going, what's in this bag? And that came with this yarn, which doesn't have a tag on it, so I don't know if it came from the same place.
Wonder if maybe it was a kit or...
Like it was a kit. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
It looks like it could be a kit. Mm-hmm. But it's really, really pretty. And look at that sparkle. Mm-hmm. And yes, I will be getting sparkle too. If you're wondering. Because I know you're thinking.
Well, I figured. I mean, that would be silly of me to think that you wouldn't get sparkle. She'd probably get sparkle in all kinds of colors of the rainbow if she can get it. Silver, gold.
Oh, and then it also came with a little progress keeper. And then it shows SSK Yarners on Etsy. The Sea Star, aka Starfish. I hope this sea star. Easy for her to say. I hope the sea star inspires creativity and adventure. And it's blue. It's blue. Okay, so there's that. Then I got a gift from my friend Lori, who is Arkansas Yarn Co. Okay, so, which I'm ready to set this up, and we know all about these, don't we?
Yeah.
She got me a oh so organized stash and stow, which Karen has a small one, and is mine a small one out there?
I think so.
I think we both have small ones out in our knitting area in my living room. Because I got one for myself, and then I liked it so well that I ended up buying one for Karen's table. And I didn't just buy her that, but I put supplies in it. So she has like a little pair of scissors, a darning needle. I can't remember, did I put a fix-it tool, a tape measure? Yeah. So she she's a little set up by her recliner. Well, this is the big one. So this is going to go in here, and it'll be for by my sewing machine, which that will be really nice. And it's blue, guys. Blue. Because she knows. Then she sent me some
what are those?
They
look like worms.
They're worms. They're swimming guys.
I said worms.
I know what
I said worms.
Okay. We went naughty.
Just clarify. I was completely
okay. So they're reusable zip ties.
Okay.
So when I dye yarn, I put these around the skein of yarn, and then when it's in the hot water, I can use tweezer. Pick it up by this. So she got me a big old package of those, which is nice, which I was like, I don't know if I need that many. Well, the other day, I swear I used almost all of the ones I had. And I'm like, ooh, good thing she got me some more of those. So, plus then it gave me more of the colors, because if I'm doing, let's say if I'm doing a pan, if I'm doing DK and I'm doing fingering, and you can use like brown on the DK stains and red on the fingering, and then you know without a doubt what's what. So, not that you can't tell by the yarn, but still.
The size of the worm.
The size of the worm. God. You need to stop. Okay, also from Lori.
Sorry, Lori.
It's a worm. It's a worm. Okay, what? Explain to me why the worm has this big old head with a hole in it.
Well, she just...
It's a worm, guys. And do you think I would really be holding a worm? No. I don't like stuff like that. It's a worm. And when have you seen worms out after the rain that were all different colors? Karen. What have you been doing today?
Well, I thought worms. You thought something else.
Oh, boy. Okay. Moving on.
It's been a long week.
Then I received this. And she knit the inside of it.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's a cup that and I had it open at one point. Now maybe I have to take the lid off first. Yeah. See. So it unscrews. And then like you could put in, like you could do pictures or, and in this case she made a sleeve, a knitted sleeve.
Oh, okay.
That goes over that. And then it's in between the tumbler wall, so it's not gonna, And you use this with hot or cold. Oh, and I think there's,
Does she sell those in her shop?
No, I don't think so. Okay, why can't I get the lid off?
That's one I've never seen.
Let me see. Yeah, because she actually knit this and put it on. And then
that's
she put, my favorite hot cocoa, because I love Land O'Lakes. She put 2 packages of the Arctic White in there. So there's that.
That's cool.
And then
you got all this stuff shoved in.
I've got a hot mess over here, guys. It's like ridiculous. She had purchased this fabric actually when I was in Arkansas, and we went to the quilt store because we always, I always, everywhere I go, I have to go to the fabric store. And she made me a little sock bag out of the hot cocoa fabric.
Cool.
And on the inside are marshmallows and little sprinkles and chocolates, and so very much goes with it. And then inside of it is a yarn that she dyed, and it's called Hot Cocoa with Friends.
That's cute.
It's
Look at
so
that
pretty.
sparkle.
She told me where I can get this sparkle yarn. I'm all set. And that's Arkansas Yarn Co. And yeah, she is the queen of sparkle for sure. And then, because we're not done yet. Wait, who is this one from? This was from Lori, too. Yeah. This is Sinful Yarns. And it's betta fish.
Oh, that's funny. Not only is it blue, but you used to deal with the fish.
With the fish. And then also from Lori. Okay, I'm finally down to the last item so I can remove some of this stuff from jabbing me. Is a Arkansas ornament.
Ooh, pretty.
And that is made by Humbled Hands Pottery. Yeah, it's really cute. Well, I have another one. I have another Arkansas one, and it's actually hanging from my shelf up there. That way I could have it out all the time, rather than just like at Christmas, whatever. And then I had ordered something that I'm not going to show from somebody, but I wanted to show this. I thought it was really cute that she sent me a handmade card with it, with a nice little note. And then she sent me some wool wash, which I will be passing on to Karen because these are lavender. And then some herbal body moisturizers, which I will also be passing on to Karen because sensitivity. I have to be very careful what I use a lot. So, yeah. Oh, and I got a little button. I just thought it was a cute little touch that when I ordered from her shop that she had done that, so I saved it because I just wanted to show you guys. So there's that. Okay, so that's all I was gifted this time. We're still finishing up on Christmas, folks. All right, then on to what I ordered. We're almost done.
Ouch.
No, we're going to have to watch the battery.
Yeah.
So I ordered a Gilmore Girls box from Lolo Did It. And I was laughing because you're supposed to open it on Christmas, and it says do not open till Christmas. Well, you know what I did right away. Yeah, I opened it. Then there's a thing that says caution. Opening this box may induce feelings of happiness and joy. Don't be surprised if you have the urge to jump up and down. This is a normal reaction and will not subside until your next squishy package arrives. So, Gilmore Girls. And I had no idea what would be in it other than, I think she told us how many skeins of yarn and whatever. So, there's some patterns for the 2 skeins of yarn. There's a Innkeeper hat and Lord Help the Mr. Cow. So there's actually 2 patterns on this one. But designed exclusively for Lolo Did It. Well, do you get the... I guess I should look. Oh, okay, it looks like I have codes. So there's the cowl and the hat. And then there's... What the heck is that? Oh, Lig then Lag socks. Took me a second. Okay. There's some stitch markers. Then there's a note. Oh, okay. So there's a scan thing I can scan for the patterns, or there's a code. Make sure to click on the Christmas box pattern bundle. I guess I better do that. And then you get all 3 of the patterns.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, I better do that until January 30th. Then there's a knit along and prizes and stuff, which you guys know I usually don't participate in that stuff because I'm too lazy to put stuff on Ravelry. So there's that.
Ooh.
All right, then there's some recipes. There's bourbon smoked potatoes. Which is marked appetizer.
That sounds good.
For dinner, there's apple butter pulled pork sliders. For breakfast, there's Madeline's pancake recipe. For dessert, there's Lauren's favorite ice cream, bourbon barrel vanilla. Then there's bourbon Madagascar vanilla extract. So I'm guessing that's used in the recipes.
Mm-hmm.
I can't smell it through the thing. Not like you guys are going to be able to smell it anyways, but, we can. Well, that's kind of a pain to get out of there with the... Okay, hold on.
Technical.
I've got stuff everywhere. Okay, get that open.
Just don't end up wearing it.
Ooh. Can I just drink it?
It's fine.
Okay, so there's that. That was one of the extras that we did not know about that was in there. There's supposed to be extra, Gilmore Girl things, but that would just be, surprises. And then there's your yarn. So yeah, there's 3 skeins of yarn and there's 3 patterns. So you can use the yarn for the patterns. I got the cashmere.
Ooh, there you go.
That's all she had left. She was sold out on the other ones. So this one is Oi with the Poodles. This one is I Love You, You Idiot. And this one is I Smell Snow. Which is funny because everybody interprets things so differently. I have like 2 or 3 other I Smell Snow yarns, and none of them look the same.
Right.
So it's always so interesting. So yeah, that was that box. I don't know what I did. Yeah, just throw that on top there. Did I have another? Okay. So that was one purchase. Which I had wrote down when I received it, so this counted on last year. Now this next one counts on this year. It's okay. Which, I ordered from Arkansas Yarn Co. And I had ordered, I don't know if it was last year or year before. There's a author that I had purchased the book and the yarn from Lori last time, and the author came out with the second book, Kathleen Fuller, and this one's let's see, Much Ado About. Is that supposed to be latte?
Oh yeah, a latte.
God, that looks awful. Okay, A Maple Falls Romance, and I know the first one, I'm sure. I think this is a kind of, yeah, the first one was called A was called Hooked on You. And I know that one was actually set in Arkansas. And Lori, the dyer of Arkansas Yarn Co., was actually like in there in the book. I don't know a whole lot about this one because I just saw it listed and said, okay, time to get the new one.
Yeah.
So once I read it, I'll give you guys more information because I have no idea. I'm going to be honest about it with you. So Lori always dyes a yarn that matches the cover. And then I'm not sure if this is... And it might say, I think it said somewhere last time in the book. Let me see. Okay, maybe it doesn't. Maybe. Okay, so there's always a pattern with it. The pattern is it's by the same person again. So I guess they're offering it knit or crocheted. The knit pattern is by Hypnotic Yarn, Cheryl. Last time she did a hat pattern. I think it was Riley's hat.
Yeah,
it was really,
cute.
really pretty. I just gifted it to Alisha for Christmas. So I'll have to look up that pattern as well. So this is called the Anita Cowl. And here is, it's a DK yarn. And it's Much Ado About a Latte. And yeah, that looks really good. So, yeah, I'll have to cast this cowl on. But I'll probably read the book first. Because that's how I did it last time. Which I have been reading books. Since last time, I think I've read 4 books. Because I'm working on reading my books and clearing off my bookcase. That way I have more room on it because I have a lot of books. I read them and then I just throw them in my pile to donate to Goodwill. So then somebody else can enjoy them. So there's that. That's everything because I've been trying to be a good girl and not buy it. Oh, no, sorry. I have Goodwill, which I just got today. So I found a bunch of, I love this cotton. And let's see. So I got various colors. I've got 3 of that color, which is a deep turquoise. I got 3 of the brown. I got 1 of the mango. I got 1 of the,
Aubergine.
Okay. I got 1 of royalty. 1 of apple green. I'm sure this is just black. And black.
Wow, you hit it.
Right? Yeah. That's pretty much all I got at Goodwill. No, not true.
How many yards are these?
I got another cookbook by the same one as last time that you went, oh, I like her books.
Oh, Hungry Girl?
Yes.
Yep.
They had like 4 of them there.
Really?
4 different ones.
Oh, yeah.
I looked through them and whatever, and this one had a section of recipes that's like 4 ingredients and under, and that's my sort of cooking. So I went ahead and got this one.
Yeah.
This is like $2.99. I don't like to cook at all. I love looking through cookbooks. Just kind of my weird thing. I don't know.
Well, and I like cookbooks if they're ingredients that you can pronounce and things that you can actually get.
Not this many ingredients.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be realistic. Don't nobody want to go and get 25 freaking ingredients for one recipe.
Yeah. That you'll only use one time and be like, well,
exactly.
Are you going to like it or not? What are you going to do with all those ingredients after that?
Okay, so what do I have left on my list? Okay, I mentioned I read books. Okay. I finished The Resident. Actually, the new season, I believe, starts the 25th of this month. So I'm all caught up on all the past seasons, I should say. It's still ongoing, so I can't say I finished it. But okay, guys. I'm not an overly sentimental person. But I'll tell you what. Season 5, oh boy. Something happens there, they kill off somebody. We'll just say it. And a lot of these shows, when they kill off somebody, they just kind of like, right over it. Or it's not done like, good, where it like really gets you. Oh, it got me. Brian went to bed that night early, and I'm out there watching. And it starts off with, and ends up with me just... When they can get me to do that, that was really wrote well and acted wonderfully. Because that does not happen. So I really enjoyed it. There's that. So then I started Castle. Which I'm like, it's watchable. I will continue it. But in the meantime, Castle's kind of gone out the window for now because I started Revenge. Okay, I'm hooked. First episode, I was kind of like, I don't know. But that's kind of where it was unfolding and kind of explaining to you. By mid-second episode, I'm like, okay, I wonder what's going to happen. What's going to be... And that's when I was like... Yeah. I am completely hooked. I'm still on season 1. I was mad the one night because you want to go for dinner. I had already actually cooked dinner because I had put corned beef in the crock pot. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, oh, I'm only going to be able to get one more episode in. I'm like, if I stayed home for dinner, I'd be able to watch more. So I've really actually been enjoying that. And the funny thing is the actress that was in The Resident is also in Revenge. So
it's funny how you tend to like. Well, it can go both ways. You either really like them in both, or you can't get over them being a character in another show, and it's hard for you to see them in that different role.
Yes, there's a lot of... The big shows are like that. So, for instance, like Gilmore Girls. We'll take Gilmore Girls. Luke, Scott Patterson. I couldn't even imagine watching him in anything else. Being anything but Luke. Being anything else other than wearing his hat backwards and a flannel shirt. If I saw him, like, in a suit, in a different show, I'd be like... All I would be thinking would be Luke. Yeah. And it would not work for me at all. I had also watched, in between starting these, I had watched some Christmas movies on Hulu. But nothing special there. Just kind of fillers. So, what have you been watching?
Not a whole... Well, I'm hit or miss when it comes to season watching. I actually watched the movie Eternals, which is another Marvel, and not for sure how I feel about that show. Not as well done as other ones. I don't know if it's because it's a Disney written one. I'm not for sure, but... And that's where I stumbled too, because there were a couple of actors in that one that I'm like, can only imagine. Well, ironically... Kit Harington that plays Jon Snow in Game of Thrones is in it. So I could not picture him. It helped that his hair was short. It wasn't long. But it didn't help any that the actor that played his brother Robb Stark was also in it. So it was like two people from a show that I like completely love was in this, and it's like I'm
laughing because you said Jon Snow, and the other morning, every morning, I'm OCD, folks, so I have a whole routine of what I go through in the morning, and part of my routine, I think it's like one of the very last things of, because I have to go through stuff on my phone in the same order, is my daily crossword. And that was one of the answers, was him. And I never would have known had it not been for Karen. But
or Alisha. Alisha likes the show too.
Yeah. That's the only name I ever heard from the show, and that was the answer. So it was kind of funny.
So I watched a couple of movies. I haven't really sat down and watched any series. Been trying to figure. Well, I just been trying to figure out what I want to get into.
Are you all caught up in Law and Orders? There were new ones of pretty much all the Law and Orders.
See, I haven't. I didn't record those.
Oh, okay.
So
FBI.
Oh yeah, FBI.
Okay,
all the FBI, FBI
international. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All the NCIs except the original, because of course I want to go back through to where I was on the originals. NCIS.
Did you start watching the newest Worst Cooks in America?
No, I didn't.
Oh my gosh, it's hysterical. There's 2 drag queens on it. Hysterical. And then, like, there's a husband and a wife, and they got put on separate teams, which, thank goodness, because they were like,
yeah,
when they were like, all, and I'm like, oh my God. So glad they got put on different teams. Pretty much they all got separated. So, yeah, it's really good. Good season this time. So
of course I had to go through all the Harry Potter shows with the anniversary show that came out, and it was funny because was it yesterday? Yesterday, I actually the Fantastic Beast is on, so I watched the 2 of those, and Chuck sat on that couch and watched both of them. He was
just too tired to get up and walk away.
That too. He wasn't feeling the greatest either, but he was like sitting on, and then after that was over, he's like, I don't feel so good. He's like,
yeah, see, so the truth came out.
Yeah, but he watched it. I kind of napped through it, and he didn't complain too much because he could have turned it on football, and he didn't while I was napping.
So I just want to say something about Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to follow Knit for Brains on Instagram and you have a private account, don't be offended if we don't follow you back. I have this thing about not following private accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it doesn't show like anybody I know follows them.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I went, okay, I'll go ahead and follow them, and let me just tell you, it was not an appropriate account. It was nothing to do about knitting.
That's the word, yeah.
So we don't tend to follow anybody that has a private account.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there, because I just had another weird
request.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing is like I do the same thing with my own account because my own account's private, and it's like, I know a lot of people ask to follow me. And I'll try to see if it's a person that's like got knitting or crocheting.
Right, but if their account's private too.
But if their account's private, it's really hard to tell. So it makes it really difficult. And there's a lot of creepy people out there. I mean, let's just put it that way.
Right, yeah. So don't be offended if... And sometimes I will backtrack if it's... like I've had before where I was like, yeah, I don't know. And I didn't follow them. Because typically if people follow our account, if it's open and I see, okay, it's a real person, then we go ahead and we follow them back. You know, I like to see the yarn people are getting, their life, their projects they're working on. You know, we enjoy that. But sometimes,
Yeah, that's the hard part.
But what happens, though, sometimes is after the fact, then... So this is where I was going with it. I lost my train of thought. Getting old, guys. I had a request the one time, or, somebody followed me. I went, and I was like, I don't know. It's private. They don't have it listed, like, they also follow, let's say, like, Cozy Up, or, somebody I'm aware of. So I didn't follow them back. And then a few weeks later, they end up doing a post where they had purchased a bag from me and tagged me in it. So it shows me that post. And then I'm like, okay, so this is a real person. Yeah. They bought a bag. Let me go back and follow them. So don't be offended if something like that, if you've followed us and we haven't, if your account is private, there's some hesitation there. So.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah, because you never know. All right, go ahead, Karen.
Okay. many of you know that my husband has had some severe health issues, and it's come to the point where we're in the process of waiting for him to be put on a lung transplant list. And the hospital that we're going is close. I mean, it's close enough. It's in Chicago.
But still a distance.
Chicago's definitely more expensive.
I was going to say, everything in Chicago is expensive, from food to gas to lodging to parking. Oh, they just kill you on the parking. That's one of the most expensive things, I think.
Yeah. And I had posted on the Knit for Brains Facebook that a friend of mine, Lena, actually, she's the one that gave me the yarn, is wanting to do an auction to auction off knit goods to try to raise money for our family to pay for gas, food,
all that stuff,
lodging, or all that stuff. Anything would help. And so I started going through my stuff because it's, some of the stuff I love the projects. I would love to see somebody use them.
Yeah, we don't use them.
I can only give my kids so many hats. I can only wear so many hats.
And I know I have a bunch of stuff I will also be donating. And as we have more information as far as like the link to the auction, that sort of thing, you will be able to find it on our
we're going to put it
Facebook group. And then as long as Karen gets me the information, I can also put it on the Knit for Brains Instagram. And we will, as long as it coincides with the podcast, we can mention it on the podcast as well.
Right.
So
this was nice too, because it's something that I could help with and still do everything else. I mean, part of the reason why I don't have as much knitted is because I have other things that, life, right? So I went through my stuff, and I'm just going to show you guys some of the things that I know I will be donating to the auction. And first off, it's a hat parade, because I apparently knit a lot of hats.
Not really, because I'm going to have a mitt parade.
Yeah.
So hats and mitts.
So, and some of these you guys have seen in the podcast before. Love them. But like I said, there's only so many that we can do. So those are the hats that I'm going to be donating.
Now, can I ask a question, or you might not even know this yet? Do you know, okay, because some people might want to be supportive, but might not necessarily, they might be knitters and have tons of their own knitted items and don't want to bid on something. Is she going to have something on there where they can click and just make a donation?
I will see that she does something like that too, in addition to.
Because I think that would be a good idea as well.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I know that there will be knitters that won't necessarily want more knitted goods.
Right. Exactly. But I will be doing, this is the original Cozy Up.
I think so, yeah. It's gorgeous, guys.
Shawl. I love it. So I have a couple, and I actually have a couple more at home that you guys have seen. This is like a shawlette. A pretty yarn.
Then we know there's going to be dishcloths. There's going to be fingerless mitts. There'll be shawls.
So there will definitely be some things, different price range too.
I think she said it was going to be, I thought she said it was going to be a silent auction.
Yeah. There may be, I don't know if there's going to be some items that we might put at, starting point.
It has to start at something,
Yeah, because I know there was a plan to auction off having knit a sweater for someone.
A custom Kellerwork sweater. Lena was willing to knit for the winter. Yeah. So she would knit it to their size dimensions.
So whatever. I'm sure that, maybe that would, require a minimum so that the cost of the yarn, I would imagine.
So we will basically, we will give you more information as we get it. Yeah. I have not had time to go through my stuff yet. I know I do have some mitts and dishcloths, and I know I have some shawls and stuff like that as well, because I always have extra knitting And that's why you guys see all the time. Like Karen today, she's like, "Oh, now that that's done, that's my color. Is that mine?" Sure. Because for me, it's more about the actual knitting. Although those joggers, it's about the joggers.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I just hope I'm not disappointed. That's why I've hesitated, because I'm like, I'll probably be pretty upset if I make those, and then I'm just like, no, I don't like the fit of them.
Well, you just have to figure out a way on how to try, because you're not going to do a swatch. We know you're not going to do that.
No, I will have to try those on as they go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like really, really read the directions, because I know there's directions in there as far as measuring, because there was I read in the thing about your waist, because they said the waist you want to actually have it at the proper size because it is stretchy. So you don't want to go bigger. You want to even maybe go negative. And then it said something about the hip area, the measurement on hip area. So yeah, it's definitely going to be something where I actually read, and not that I don't read, but sometimes, and definitely check measurements a couple times.
Yeah.
You know, and once they get to, I mean, that's going to be something I can pull on and continually try on, but will I?
Yeah.
But will I? Oh, sweater update, because I have been asked by a few people. People have messaged me. My blue sweater, that the neck is too high.
Oh.
Poor Karen, when she come over last week, she thought I was nuts. So I said, I've made progress on my sweater, Karen. I tried to knit. I took apart the neckline, and because I did twisted rib and the way it was knit and whatever, you couldn't just pull it out. So you're gonna have to like sit there and keep going like this. So I got ticked off, guys, and I said, all right, this is either gonna work or it's not gonna work, and I don't care at this point. If I have to tear the whole sweater out, I'll tear out the whole sweater. Use the yarn for something else. So I picked up stitches right underneath the ribbing. This is where it gets comical.
And I noticed it wasn't in your finished objects.
Because I haven't touched the sleeves. And so like the insane person that I am, I took a pair of scissors and I just cut off the ribbing.
She lopped it off, is what she said to me. I just lopped it. I just... And
her eyes like bugged out of her head. And she went, what? You cut it off? I'm like, I was not going to sit there for 3 days picking out this. It wasn't going to happen.
She could have asked for my help. I could have helped her, but no, she was just like,
I cut it off.
So, and if she gets it in her head, she's going to do something, she's going to do it.
Oh, yeah. So then what I did was I did a I-cord. I think I knit. I knit a couple rows.
Yeah.
And then I did a I-cord bind off.
Yep.
And it's actually a boat neck now.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. So basically all I need to do is throw some sleeves on that, which it's going to be short sleeves, so it's not a big deal. And I have decided that I'm going to go ahead and do the I-cord bind off on the sleeves as well. And once I had cut off the neck and did the I-cord bind off and everything, and I tried it on, and it is good. And doing that with the neck and stuff, even, like, I like this sweater so much better. You know, I was just like, just the overall look of it, everything.
Yeah.
So all I gotta do is throw in some sleeves. And it'll be done, guys. And then and I'll block it, and then you can see it.
Yeah, I'm sure my face shows it all, because there are times when I can't, like, hold back my reaction.
Well, she'll sometimes be like, well... Because I'll be like, I think I'm going to rip this out. And she's like, what? It's almost done. And I'm like, well, this and this and this. And she's like, well, you could do this. And as she says, you could do this I
But
rip
you're
it
going to
off.
do it.
I rip it off the needles, and I'm like, what's that? Well, here's my thing. If I'm not happy with it, I'm not going to be happy with it. It's just going to sit.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And the yarn's too pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's very much me.
Yeah.
So, yes, progress has been made on the sweater. It might have been a crazy way to get that progress, but it worked.
You do you.
I'll do me. If you wanted to sit there and spend 6 hours picking that out, you'd go right for it. Not me. My time's precious. I'm busy, folks.
She was ready to move on.
I was. And that's how I get. I'm just like, I'm done with this sweater.
Yeah.
You know? No, it kind of got put, after I did that, it got put aside because I was finishing up a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't pick it up because I was going to pick it up because I looked over and I was like, oh my gosh, I have nothing on the needles. Because I finished everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Brett caked up a bunch of yarn for me today, and I actually have yarn for you and a pattern. We'll be starting that cowl.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and I don't know if you realized it, but those sets that Jenny sent us, those are 50-gram skeins.
How many counts are we going to make?
Right? Well, what I was thinking was a cowl, and then maybe do some fingerless mitts.
Okay. Yeah.
So, just an idea.
Yeah.
Possibly even some shorties.
Mm-hmm.
Whole ensemble.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe I'll start tracking what I knit this year.
you should.
We'll see.
Do you need a notebook? I got tons of them.
There you go. She's going to set me up after this. It's like an ask and poof, it appears.
That, or we need to, we could keep you a notebook here in the craft room.
Mm-hmm.
Because you always bring your FOs here.
Yes, I do. I do.
You see me as she's... And you always bring your acquisitions, so I know how much you
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we might have an answer. We might have to keep it on the table over here. I mean, realistically, because we podcast, you could go back and watch every podcast for that year, just the FO section.
Right.
And get a total, but to me, that's a whole lot of work.
It is.
I'd rather just write it down.
Yeah. I'd rather watch other people than watch me. That's kind of painful.
I always said...
I did have to watch the the peanut butter episode.
That was funny. The hairball.
I had to show that to Chuck.
Yeah, we've had a few times where we've done a funny that...
Yeah.
Didn't you show him the butt floss one, too?
Yes, I
That was
did.
hysterical.
Like, you have to see this.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe me and Alisha made it through that because that was just oh my gosh. Guys, if you have not seen some of our past episodes, they were nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said, and I've said it for a while, and maybe I should do it now that, I mean, we've hit 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought about going back and watching the very first one or two.
To see how painful
To see how
it is.
bad it was. And the thing with podcasting, and a lot of podcasters, also say this, when you were recording the podcast, okay, once the camera stops, me and Karen could literally look at each other and be like, what did we talk about? My husband sometimes will be like, what were you guys cackling about in there? And we're like,
Which time? We don't remember.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember. So, yeah, not a lot of it is necessarily retained.
Because you're in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's scripted. We have to memorize anything.
Right.
Thank God for that.
You keep it up. You know what I told you.
Well, apparently I do need some script.
Oh. Well,
You
yeah.
know, to tell to remember the
these aren't
make-along.
worms?
to remember what our knit-along is called.
We've only done it every year.
Tell the people what they need to do.
I mean, we are who we are.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. And
We're real people.
yeah. We're two gals that
Unscripted.
like to knit.
Yep.
I mean, we keep it clean for them for the most part. So, I mean, what more can I
Yeah, we do
ask?
pretty good.
Because sometimes in real life, that's not us. Or not me, I should say.
I wouldn't say I'm prim and proper, but
Yeah. Some of the, yeah. So, yeah. It's getting warm in here.
it is. Are we about ready? I think that's about everything,
I
isn't
would
it?
be frying in a long sleeve shirt.
Well, on the way over here, I actually had my window down.
Oh, so don't even roll your eyes and laugh at me and tell me I'm nuts.
My husband was admitted to the hospital today, the ambulance. That was interesting. And so he was in the emergency room for most of the afternoon. And they finally went to admit him. Well, when my husband gets admitted, I have to bring his, stuff from home. And it's
You would think does he just keep a hospital bag packed? Because one would think
he would,
should.
but it's medical equipment.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He has his
yeah.
BiPAP that he uses at night, and then he's got this vest that is his really lifeline. That thing is freaking heavy. So the two of these things, probably together, weigh 75 pounds.
Mm.
So I have to take him down, clean his BiPAP, and pack it all up. And the vest is in a hardcover roll suitcase, but it's pretty good size. So I have to bring now. It was just the BiPAP. Now these last couple times, he's like, "I need you to bring my vest too." Really?
Why don't you just move in there?
Yeah.
Just keep your stuff there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the respiratory techs gave him a hard time because he wasn't feeling good last night, and he should have went last night. And they're like, "Why didn't you come last night?" He says, "Because I'm a man."
And you think he'd know by now, as much as
I know.
he's had.
And this
these
morning he didn't
issues.
even want to go, and I was just like, "Honey, I need to take you to the emergency room." And he's sitting there wheezing his all get out, and I'm like, think I should call the ambulance? Because you ain't getting up those stairs to go. So that's what I had to do. But okay, this is going to sound sad. We go to the same place all the time, and if we catch it in time and he decides to go before it gets to the point of the ambulance, and I take him, I told her, I said, you need to treat the ER like I do. It's a drive-through emergency room. We've been there enough that I know it's going to take them. It takes time. It's going to take 3 to 5 hours. There's no point in me sitting there.
3 to 5, I wish.
You had worse.
I had to be at the hospital 7 hours at the emergency room with my mom. Followed up a few days later with, are you guys ready for this? 12 hours with Alisha in the emergency room. 12 hours. I should have dropped her.
So I'm like, as long as he's got his cell phone, he can, 2-3 hours. So what's up? Are they keeping you or not? Because it depends. They keep him, I got to pack his stuff. If not, I got to go, be ready for him to come home.
And you would think, out of all the people to be like that I would be the one like that. Because I'm just like...
She was like, you what? I'm like, well, sometimes it's in the morning where as I'm working, I'm like, why would I...
Well, and I'm texting her,
I want to take my time for when we have to go up to Chicago, not for local.
I texted her, and I'm like, I had to stay for 12 hours at the emergency room with Alisha. And she's like, oh, you should have dropped her?
I said, I would have done the drive-thru.
I probably would, but, she gets that whole... Mom, you're going to leave me? I mean, really.
Well, it's not like, Alisha
Chuck doesn't cry when you...
Alisha doesn't go there every, as much as Chuck does.
It was just the whole fact that it was so close together.
Chuck's like...
7 hours with Mom, 12 hours with her.
He's like, go home, do what you got to do. Why sit here and wait with me? All they're going to do is give me breathing treatments, hike my oxygen up, give me some medication, and evaluate me and run tests. What are you going to do for me?
Yeah.
So
I
appreciate that.
I wish my people would think that. Just go on home.
It also helps that several of the nurses, we know several of the nurses. One of them is a neighbor 2 doors down. So it helps that we're in a small enough community to do that. So it sounds horrible. Truly.
No, it sounds great to me.
He asked me to do it a lot of the times. He's like, don't just drop me off. Pick me up when we're done.
Okay, honey, did you want me to slow down or stop?
I know.
Duck and roll. Oh my gosh. All right. We need to get
That's
going.
enough of life.
We need to get going because Karen needs her popcorn. I think I might
I'm hungry.
I might be
You're
able
going to make me a sandwich, right?
Yeah, you want a sandwich?
I didn't get supper.
Okay, I'm going to go make her a corned beef sandwich, folks,
Yep.
because I made corned beef in the crock pot the other day, which really, my husband... Okay, so to explain this to me.
Mm-hmm.
The night before, I put... Well, okay. First I went shopping, and he was like, oh, what's in that bag? You got corned beef? And I'm like, yeah, I got corned beef. So the night before, I set the crock pot out on the counter because it reminds me then. I see it, and I go, oh, I need to put that corned beef in, because otherwise I'd probably forget about it. So I set it out the night before. I get up that morning, and I've got the corned beef in by 7:30 that morning.
Mm-hmm.
About 1, 2 o'clock, he messages me, and he's like, hey, you want to go out for dinner? We'll go here or here. And I went, all right, well, I've had corned beef in for hours now. I guess when it's done, I'll take it out and let it sit and cool and put it in the refrigerator. I was like, he got home and, he hadn't gone out to eat because he's been working so much, and stuff. So I didn't want to be like, no. But then we go over to Pachanga's. There was not an open parking spot over there. Like, it had to have been standing room only, or they were all at the bar part of it. I don't know. So then we had to go somewhere else. But I'm like, honey, you should have known I had corned beef in. I had the crock pot on the counter. Well, I didn't notice crock pot. You went right past it to get the coffee maker. And then my brother had stopped over that day to drop off his his egg tray. And I said something to him, and he's like, well, we'll take that corned beef. No, you won't. I'll save it for tomorrow. I'm like, oh. Now, are you a baby like Brett? Do I have to shred the corned beef and make sure there's no fat on it for you? Okay. Well, you're easy then.
I'm not weird like he is when it comes to meat.
My husband, yeah, he's not a big meat person. If there's any fat or grizzle on it, he can't eat it. So when I make his corned beef sandwiches, like, I stand there and I shred it apart and make sure all the fat gets out, and then I put the fat over with mine because that's where you get the flavor. I'm like, it's okay, it's more for me. And you know what? I don't mind shredding it.
Right.
As long as he's going to eat it, that's fine.
Well, you remember I came over. She made me steak tacos the one time.
I have 4 Cajun.
With sour cream.
I have lots of sour cream too. I don't skimp on that. You need sour cream on everything. I have 4 Cajun turkey breasts in the freezer.
She's really making me hungry, guys.
She likes my Cajun
And
turkey
if you guys
breast.
are still with us,
Yeah, right.
we really probably should go.
Yes.
And for those of us who stuck here, you need to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
And then anybody that won prizes, whether it's physical or patterns, make sure you get hold of us.
Yep.
Go check out the Etsy.
It's time, people. It's getting late.
Go check out Knit for Brains Designs on Etsy. There's a lot of bags in there. And then as you guys saw, there's a nice selection of sale bags as well. And I think that's it, right? Right?
I almost made it. I think I'm just about halfway.
So she will have one FO for
The next time I got one, guys. You guys got to hold me through.
You could shock them and actually have 2 of those made.
Oh.
Ooh, overachiever.
Yeah.
All right, so we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.